Cowboys Nation. Welcome to your ultimate destination for all things Dallas Cowboys. From the latest news, game analyses, rumors, to deep dives into player performances and strategies, we've got you covered. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a play. Let's dive into everything you need to know about America's team. Chris Jones has reportedly emerged as the central figure of the Dallas Cowboys defensive line, following what sources are calling a monumental contract signing that could reshape the team's defensive identity for years to come. The buzz around the league is intense, with insiders suggesting that Jones' presence not only brings elite-level talent, but also introduces a new kind of psychological pressure on opposing offenses. People around the locker room are reportedly already noticing his impact, not just in terms of raw stats or physical presence, but in how younger defensive players are seemingly inspired to elevate their game. Analysts are speculating that his addition might force coordinators to rethink offensive schemes entirely, because facing a player of Jones' caliber could alter the timing, spacing, and decision-making processes for quarterbacks across the league. Even though the Cowboys have had strong defensive units in the past, the narrative emerging now is that this signing is not just an incremental upgrade, but a statement that the team is aiming to dominate the line of scrimmage in a way that hasn't been seen in years. Rumors suggest that Jones' leadership in practice is already shifting dynamics, with veterans and rookies alike looking to him for cues, both on technique and mental approach to high-pressure situations. The excitement surrounding Chris Jones' arrival in Dallas has extended far beyond locker room chatter, as media outlets are abuzz with speculation about how this will impact draft strategy, free agency moves, and long-term planning. Sources close to the organization hint that Jones' influence could be felt in subtle ways, like mentoring younger defensive linemen on film study habits and helping them anticipate offensive schemes before they unfold. While nothing has been confirmed officially, insiders are floating the idea that Jones might even take on a quasi-coaching role on certain plays, given his experience and ability to read offenses in real time. Fans are already reacting with a mixture of awe and curiosity, imagining what the Cowboys' defensive line could look like with Jones anchoring the front, potentially forcing quarterbacks to rethink pocket presence and timing routes. Some analysts are going as far as to suggest that opposing teams may adjust their game plans preemptively, simply because the thought of facing Jones on every snap introduces a layer of unpredictability. The speculation is that this signing might create a ripple effect that extends across the league, influencing not only the Cowboys' immediate performance, but also how other franchises approach defensive line construction in the coming seasons. Chris Jones' reputation as a game-changer precedes him, and whispers around the league suggest that his work ethic and intensity could redefine the Cowboys culture in ways that go far beyond statistics or highlight reels. There's a growing narrative that this signing is about more than just individual talent. It is about instilling a mindset of dominance and accountability throughout the defensive roster. Rumors suggest that Jones' preparation routines, known for their meticulous attention to detail, are already impacting teammates, with some veterans reportedly revisiting their own practices to keep pace with his standards. Analysts are speculating that his presence could alter not just the defensive line, but the secondary as well, as pressure on the quarterback often dictates coverage opportunities for cornerbacks and safeties. Some insiders are even hinting that offensive coordinators in the division are holding emergency meetings to adjust protections and play designs, anticipating the disruptive potential of Jones' arrival. Fans are buzzing with potential what-if scenarios, imagining the Cowboys' defensive unit as a nearly unstoppable force if Jones can translate his individual brilliance into a cohesive team impact, which remains one of the most intriguing storylines heading into the upcoming stretch of the season. The anticipation surrounding Chris Jones has also fueled speculation about how his presence might affect contract negotiations and roster decisions across the league. Sources suggest that his signing could create a domino effect, with other defensive stars potentially seeking similar deals or leverage to maintain competitive parity. Some insiders are proposing that Jones' deal might serve as a benchmark, not only for defensive linemen, but for star players in multiple positions, as franchises weigh the value of investing heavily in elite talent versus spreading resources across multiple areas. Within the Cowboys' own walls, rumors indicate that coaches may be planning to design specific packages that maximize Jones' strengths, potentially giving him the freedom to impact games in ways that transcend traditional positional roles. Fans and pundits alike are dissecting the possibilities, wondering whether his presence alone could transform the team from playoff contenders to serious Super Bowl favorites, even if only in speculative conversations. The broader narrative forming is that Jones represents both immediate impact and long-term strategic influence, a dual role that makes this signing feel less like a transaction and more like a chess move in an ongoing league-wide game. Industry insiders are particularly focused on how Chris Jones' signing could affect the dynamics of practice sessions and team chemistry. Sources close to the Cowboys suggest that his professional approach is reshaping interactions in ways that were not fully anticipated, with rookies reportedly looking to emulate his technique and preparation rituals, while veterans are reflecting on their own approaches to leadership. Analysts are speculating that the mere presence of a player like Jones could create a new standard for accountability, with practice becoming an arena for both personal development and tactical experimentation. Rumors abound that Jones' influence might extend into motivational aspects as well, inspiring teammates to raise their intensity and mental focus during critical moments, creating a culture of relentless competitiveness. Some insiders are even hinting that opposing teams are observing these changes with concern, as the potential synergy between Jones and the existing defensive framework could produce outcomes that are difficult to predict, making game planning against the Cowboys increasingly complex. The general sentiment emerging from these discussions is that Jones' signing represents a paradigm shift, not just a headline acquisition, and that his impact may be felt in ways that extend far beyond the stats sheet or highlight reels. Finally, speculation about Chris Jones' future trajectory with the Cowboys is already generating a narrative of legend-building potential, as insiders suggest that his influence could be felt for seasons to come if the current rumors about leadership and mentorship are accurate. Analysts are pondering scenarios where his role evolves into a central figure in defensive schematics, perhaps dictating matchups, influencing blitz packages, and even shaping the identity of the team on a philosophical level. Fans are actively engaging with these hypotheticals, imagining a Dallas defensive line that not only commands respect, but also redefines the expectations of dominance in a modern game. Within the locker room, rumors suggest that Jones' presence has sparked conversations about legacy, pride, and the type of commitment required to compete at the highest level consistently. Some league watchers are speculating that other franchises might attempt to replicate the model, seeking players who combine elite skill with the kind of leadership aura that Jones appears to bring. While none of these outcomes are guaranteed, the narrative forming is undeniably compelling, presenting Chris Jones not just as a player, but as a transformative figure whose presence could influence the trajectory of the Cowboys' defense, and perhaps even the league at large in ways that are only beginning to unfold. Rumors surrounding Chris Jones' impact on the Dallas Cowboys are not limited to his individual performance, as league insiders are increasingly speculating that his presence could redefine the team's defensive strategies in unprecedented ways. Sources close to the coaching staff suggest that the schematics may evolve to allow Jones to roam the line of scrimmage with more freedom, potentially forcing offensive coordinators to completely rethink blocking assignments and quarterback reads. Analysts are hypothesizing that the ripple effects could extend beyond the Cowboys' defense, affecting how opposing teams prioritize their draft picks, free agency moves, and even game day rotations. Some insiders are suggesting that Jones' ability to collapse pockets, disrupt timing, and command double teams could effectively create opportunities for linebackers and secondary players to make plays that were previously considered low probability. Fans are imagining scenarios in which Jones' presence alone forces a paradigm shift in the division, with rival teams potentially overhauling their offensive game plans just to neutralize his threat. The speculation continues to build, with whispers that this signing might have intangible consequences, such as altering the psychological landscape of games, instilling fear or hesitation in quarterbacks, and creating a defensive aura that affects play calling across the league even before the first snap. Industry insiders are also speculating that Chris Jones' arrival could have profound implications for the Cowboys' locker room culture, far beyond what is visible on game tape. Reports suggest that his work ethic, attention to detail, and competitive intensity are already setting a new standard for teammates, potentially influencing training routines, film study habits, and in-game communication. Some sources are hinting that younger defensive linemen are being inspired to emulate Jones' preparation methods, creating a ripple effect where every practice session becomes an opportunity for leadership and skill refinement. Analysts are further speculating that this culture shift might translate into more cohesive on-field performances as players begin to anticipate each other's movements and decision-making tendencies with heightened precision. The whispers extend to rival teams as well, with some offensive coordinators allegedly expressing concern that facing a defense led by Jones will be as much a mental challenge as a physical one. Fans are engaging in endless debates, imagining a scenario in which Jones' influence could elevate the Cowboys from a strong defensive unit to an almost untouchable force capable of dictating the pace and psychological tone of games across the league. But before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Dallas Cowboys. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments as well. Beyond the immediate tactical and cultural implications, rumors suggest that Chris Jones' presence could also influence the strategic decisions made by the Cowboys front office in the months and seasons ahead. Sources close to the organization are speculating that his signing might prompt adjustments in draft priorities, as the team could now target complementary pieces to maximize his disruptive potential rather than filling gaps purely based on conventional needs. Analysts are hypothesizing that this could include selecting versatile linebackers, agile defensive ends, or secondary players who can capitalize on the chaos Jones creates at the line of scrimmage. Some insiders are even hinting at potential ripple effects across the league, with other franchises monitoring Dallas' approach and considering similar acquisitions to compete effectively. Fans are fueling the narrative further, imagining a domino effect where elite talent becomes a premium not only for positional dominance, but also for strategic versatility and long-term planning. The speculation continues that Jones' influence may be felt even in preseason scenarios, as practice schemes, rotations, and individual matchups are potentially being reevaluated to ensure that his strengths are leveraged to their fullest. The narrative forming is that his impact may not be confined to game days, but may permeate organizational thinking and influence league-wide strategies for years to come. The chatter around Chris Jones' role in high-pressure situations is also generating significant speculation about his influence on the psychological dynamics of the team. Sources suggest that his presence alone could create a heightened sense of confidence for defensive teammates, instilling belief that the Cowboys can dominate even elite offensive units. Analysts are speculating that quarterbacks facing Jones might feel pressured not just physically but mentally, potentially leading to hurried decisions or misreads even before they encounter the rest of the defensive line. Some insiders are hinting that this psychological edge could be a game-changer in close contests, where momentum swings are often determined by the confidence and composure of key players. Fans are imagining scenarios where Jones' aura on the field effectively changes the narrative of games, making opponents adjust their approach fundamentally just to survive his presence. The speculation is that his signing has the potential to create a new type of defensive identity for the Cowboys, one that combines raw athleticism with mental intimidation, and that this identity could persist for years if nurtured correctly. The ongoing discussion suggests that Jones may not just be a star player, but a central figure in a broader cultural and strategic evolution of the team's defense. Speculation also abounds regarding Chris Jones' potential influence on rivalries within the division and across the league. Sources suggest that his signing might shift how opponents approach matchups against Dallas, with rumors circulating that offensive game plans are being adjusted in anticipation of the disruption he can cause. Analysts are hypothesizing that rival coaches may even experiment with unconventional formations, quick passes, or misdirection plays specifically to mitigate Jones' effectiveness, which could inadvertently open opportunities for the Cowboys' broader defensive unit. Fans are eagerly debating how historic rivalries might be reshaped if Jones consistently alters the balance of power at the line of scrimmage, creating unpredictable outcomes and intensifying competition. Some insiders are hinting that Jones' reputation alone might be enough to affect the tempo and decision-making of opposing teams, forcing a psychological burden that extends far beyond his physical contributions. The narrative emerging is one in which the signing has consequences not just for performance, but for strategy, rivalry intensity, and the overall competitive landscape of the league, reinforcing the idea that his presence could be transformative on multiple levels simultaneously. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Dallas Cowboys, please subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. We always look forward to your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.